Hey guys, thought I'd make a video here today. I don't know how long it'll be, but just wanted to talk to you about a few things that I've got going on. Got a knife here that I just designed and finished. Yeah, there's been 100,000 of Loveless drop points made, I guess, or more. Uh, but I decided to make one like I wanted. And the type that I wanted was be one that could hold up in some pretty tough situations. I've had friends who've broken those hologram knives, skinning them out, reaching up in the cavity and prizing and all, and that hologram's kind of weak like that, and I just it'll chip out if you put too much pressure on it, and so that's why I decided to, hey, I want to make a simple knife that I can sell reasonably and that I would use myself. That's kind of a crossover knife that would, I can use it to do all kinds of meat prep and everything in the wilderness, and then if I have to, I can use it for a survival knife. So that's what I was doing. And I don't want a big old knife. I want one that weighs less than 5 ounces. I want it to be carryable, you know. So that's what I've been doing here. I've made I don't know, a bunch of, I'll say, seven, six, seven, eight, nine. I've got blanks hanging over of it now, but I've made the base model to show to y'all today, um, and it here it is. Let me just go ahead and lay it up here and let you see it. It's a This is a drop point design. It's got the drop point to it. It's not a clip point, it's a drop point. It does have a swedge on the top. And the reason that I put a swedge on it for me is because when you go to field dress and you have to punch through hide, it's a little easier to punch through when you got a swedge on the tip, where it'll punch through easier to be able to gut the animal and so forth. So that's the reason that I put that swedge on there. Now it doesn't have to have the swedge. I also made it with a high flat grind instead of the hollow grind. I made it with the flat grind, which I like better in when I'm working with one. I like that flat grind better. I don't have to be as careful with that in breaking and all. So that's what it looks like. The base model has black micarta handle. It has I put one of these lanyards on it, and this one has got stainless steel pins and lanyard hole deal. I didn't put any liners or anything like that on it. It'll sell in the high 200s, around 285 or somewhere in there, 275, 285, 295. I haven't made up my mind exactly what the base price will be. It has the 5/32 thick steel. It's about 160 thousandths is what the thickness will run on this. It's a little thicker than some knives, come in around 135 thousandths, a little lighter knives, and I do have those. I have one that I make now that is very similar to this knife, has a little different style handle called the Sansaba. It is has the high flat grind, has the swedge, and it's a thinner steel and a little shorter blade, I think, on it. So anyhow, but that's what this one is. Now, I have switched back over to 52-100 ball bearing steel. Sometimes I've used the 80 CRV2 carbon steel for my base knives, and it works very well for toughness. It is a tough steel and will work really well for toughness. This steel, in a hunter, needs to hold an edge well also, not just to have toughness, needs to hold that edge well. And that's the reason I went with 52-100. If you heat treat it correctly, it will hold an edge a little better than the 80 CRV2. And you can still have almost the same toughness when you go to your bigger knives. I would probably go with the 80 CRV2 in the bigger knives that will be used for prizing and for chopping and that kind of stuff, because it's tougher. The edge won't chip. Those kind of things that toughness gives you when you're doing the steel. Now, I'm still going to offer this knife in CPM 154, but of course that moves the price of it up, and I wanted to offer one that is a great knife that will hold an edge really good in a little cheaper steel than the CPM 154. And it's not just the cheaper steel, it's the heat treat process includes on CPM 154 includes the cryogenic freeze, and we have to drive to town, pick up dry ice every time that we go to do it. Or if you've got a doer, you got to go to town and get it recharged and put nitrogen in it and all that. So all of that stuff drives the price up on it. Just the work involved drives the price up, and the time that you're investing in doing the stainless CPM 154 and the 52-100 has chromium in it. It doesn't rust as fast as like 1095 or 01 and those simpler carbon steels do. But anyhow, I just wanted to let y'all know about that, what I'm doing there. And this knife can have a hilt on it. That drives the price up. It can have a tapered tang. That drives the price up. It's just like them big trucks. Have you noticed how when we started out, my generation, a truck was a truck. It was a tool. It was something that you used on the farm. And now they've got them things with so many things in them that they drove the price up to nearly $100,000 for one. So the more you add to it, the more it's going to cost. That's just the way it is, So that's what I wanted to take. Oh, I wanted to show you the sheath too. The sheath, I've got a wet formed leather sheath that I put it in. Now, I can go to a multi-carry sheath, which is going to cost more. But this one here is beautiful sheath, and it fits really well. It's wet formed. It's made out of good thick leather. Very, very nice sheath. And I put this lanyard on it, and it sits deep. You see how it sits deep into the sheath? Wet form, clips in there. And then when you go to pull it out, you have no trouble because you got this lanyard. If you can just wrap your fingers around and pull it out. Anyhow, that's the way it is. Now, the difference in heat treating 80 CRV2 and 52-100. I wanted to talk to you just a second about that. It's easier to heat treat 80 CRV2 than it is to heat treat 52-100. The reason it's easier because you have to go if you're going to get the best out of the knife, you have to go through a little more rigorous normalization process to where you mix it, the metal gets mixed better, the structure in it gets mixed better, and that means that you got to ramp it up to about 1700, let it cool, back down, and then put it back in. You got to ramp it back up to about 1460, and you can do that more than one time if you want to. But anyhow, when you ramp it up to 1460, well, then you got to let it cool back slowly to 1260, and then you pull it out and let it cool then, and then you can austinize it. Austenizing means that's where you put it in and you bring it up to about 1500 or so, and you pull it out quick and hit the oil with it, or whatever you're using. If stainless, some of them use aluminum, but anyhow, that's the way you do the 52-100, and it's a little more involved. After you get it austinized, then you got to do at least two 2-hour tempers at around I do about 375 on it. It gives me a pretty good caliber in there, around 61 RC, 62, somewhere in that category. But I just wanted to explain that to you, that 52-100 is a little more tedious in being able to get it the best out of it, and that's you have to understand that's the way it works, and that's the reason that heat treating is what is going to make your knife the best it can be. Now, I also wanted to let you know, I know this is getting long, but anyhow, I have named this knife to be able to determine what it is. I named it, okay, and it took me a while to figure out what to name it. I thought about just naming it the Bayou Hunter, the Bayou Hunter. I've got a Bayou Bowie already, but what I determined to do was to name it the Bayou de Boeuf. The Bayou de Boeuf, okay? That is a French word. I'm not French, I'm not Spanish, but I've named some of my knives out of the French language and out of the Spanish language. But the Boeuf, the reason I named it the Bayou de Boeuf is because I grew up on a farm, about a 200 and something acre farm, just north and east of here, and that farm was in the bend of the Boeuf River. It's the Bayou de Boeuf, okay? And so I named it the Bayou de Boeuf knife. That's the reason it's named that. Now, what does that mean, Bayou de Boeuf? It means beef river, okay? Beef, as in cattle, beef river, okay? Just a little something to let y'all know about what Louisiana is, a mixture here. You know, we got one race in this world called the human race, but boy, we've got a lot of ethnicity in Louisiana too. So I hope that y'all enjoyed this video. I'm gonna cut her off now. Y'all go to the website, check it out. I'm gonna make another drop this Friday for you to look at some more knives that I've got up. Okay, bye-bye.